Welcome back. Here we are for episode 24 of the Therapy Sessions podcast. You have your hosts here, and it's been quite some time. We took a nice little late spring, early summer sabbatical, if you will. We got some good rest. Not really, because we each have 3 kids, and it's summer, and life's crazy, and we're very busy, as I'm sure all the rest of you are. So thanks for tuning in. If you have not subscribed yet, if it's your first time listening, click subscribe and tune in for our future episodes. And I believe, Chris, this is our last episode of the inaugural Therapy Sessions Season 1. And don't worry, fans, Season 2 next month. Chris, what do you got?
Well, I watched an episode from January. I think it was the Rams one. I was actually going through YouTube looking for pizza cooking videos, and one of our episodes came up, and I was disturbed at how fat I was. Uh, I, I'm down 17
You
pounds
and I
since that
both.
episode.
You and I
Yeah.
both.
So we're going for a more aesthetically pleasing podcast in season 2,
That's right.
which will
Lean and mean.
start in July. So we figure the season really kicks off in July. Training camp will report third week of July, so that'll be the next episode, and we'll have probably news. Hopefully, everybody stays out of prison. Lions. Hopefully, no more reporters get caught sleeping with coaches. Hopefully, there's no many wars between now and then, right? I gave Nick a list of things to talk about because it's been a quiet off season, which is good. It's unique for this team. Nick, the stadium. What are you thinking?
Yeah, the stadium. That's the big one. Let's jump right into it. So, it's crazy. It's still up in limbo, as our viewers know. It's gone back and forth, round and round. Arlington Heights was the front runner for a long time. Then obviously Hammond entered the picture, and then now you've got all these other suburban communities like McCook.
Where
And
is
other
McCook, dude?
surrounding areas.
Where is it? Is it by us?
Nobody
Where
knows.
the hell is it?
No, nobody knows. It's not. You can't find it on a map.
All right.
It's unlisted. No, but here's my take on the whole thing. Up until they failed to pass the legislation, and I still do think so. I think that the whole Hammond thing and the whole Indiana thing was a leverage play by the Bears, and I think they overplayed their hand a little bit. I think they misplayed their hand a little bit, but I also think they're kind of dealt a bad hand too, because they have to deal with Illinois politicians, which we've talked about, Chris. If you were to pick a state to build a stadium, Illinois is the single worst state politically speaking. And, the biggest issue now that's stopping a bill and stopping the legislation are the Chicago legislators that are part of the caucus, the voting caucus down in Springfield.
Get out of it.
They are that's the only they want to squeeze as much as they can for Chicago, because they know Chicago's out of the game now. It's either going to be Arlington or Hammond. I still think Illinois has a slight edge, but the biggest problem is politically speaking, it's still going to be a huge mountain to climb.
Nick, if you're serious about having me edit these episodes, I'd recommend staying out of politics. But
You're in charge.
I don't care. I don't care anymore. I could give it's I really don't care where they play. I'd root for them if they were in India or Indiana. The Navashima Bears.
Oh my goodness.
That's right.
Very good.
I don't care. Like I honestly do believe that in 2030 they're probably going to be playing in Soldier Field. Um, I don't know if they're. I would be pretty surprised if in the next 10 years they're playing somewhere else. They don't have enough money. They don't. They. That's the actual reality this whole situation has laid out. And we argued about this earlier in the offseason about the McCaskey family's cash assets and their liquidity. And it's been laid out pretty clear that they're broke, man. They can't afford a new stadium unless it's totally subsidized, and nobody's going to do that. right? There was a sliver of time in 2021 where they may have been able to piece together enough financing. They don't have enough money. And where I'm most concerned about the stadium situation is um, I read and heard some stuff a couple weeks ago that them owning this freaking land and paying taxes on this land in Arlington Heights is actually draining them, right? They're paying like multiple millions of dollars a year that could be a free safety or backup right guard to Arlington Heights for land that they may never do anything with, right? And it is disturbing the financial situation. They're going to have to pay Caleb Williams $100 million a year cash in like 2 years. And they're going to have to put it all in escrow. They're going to have to put $500 million in an escrow account for Caleb Williams in like 18 months, Nick. And I ultimately, if I had to put a prediction, if you can record this and put a pin in this, the most likely scenario to me is that this becomes a 2 or 3 year like drama on in Crane business and the Trib, where I do think they end up being forced to sell because they're now in a situation where they actually in Soldier Field can't financially compete with modern NFL ownership, and they cannot afford the liquidity. They cannot afford to build a new stadium with the current political climate for both sides. It's not no red or blue. It's not popular for any party to hand an NFL team $6 billion, Nick. Um, the Indiana stuff, if you get into it, is pretty interesting how they were going to do it and the taxes they were going to have to pass. Like, that's not a slam dunk. I think ultimately this ends with um, them selling to some sort of group or some guy, maybe the Ishbias, I don't know. And that land that they own in Arlington Heights becomes an asset because it raises the price of the sale, right? And that some guy comes in here that can afford to build an $8 million stadium in Illinois, right? And do it privately. That's my ultimate. I think that's where this ends up. I think they're stuck. I think that had they been able to do it in 2021, they would have had a shot. They tried their best, and I do actually think that's where this ends up. So clip it.
I think I will say that the open the door option C that you just proposed is probably would probably be best for everyone. It'd probably be best for the
It'd
team.
be
It'd
best
probably
for the
be best for
McCaskies.
the fans, and it would be best for the McCaskies because it would finally give old George some cash in his pocket. He could finally realize some liquidity from his ownership interests, um,
If you're a
and
38
you
year
would
old
have someone in
McCaskey
there.
kid, right, and you're like one of the grandkids, and you're like some 38-year-old guy that lives in DeKalb, and you have 3 kids, and maybe you get like a 40 grand check a year from this team, right? Would you rather have that or like a one-time payout of like $30 million, right? And that's what they're
Oh yeah,
looking at. Nick, people don't understand, like, the McCaskies are not billionaires. If you have a car that's worth $2 million, Nick, when do you get that money?
when you sell it.
Okay, you're not a millionaire, right? So if you inherited a $2 million car from your grandpa because the team was stolen,
It's an unrealized gain. It's not realized until you liquidate it.
so the closest thing, if you want to guess at like what the McCaskies, what kind of money they actually make and have on hand, is you can look at the Green Bay Packers financials because they're forced to report it because of the unique ownership structure. The Packers clear in gross profit in a given year about $250 million. Okay, that's what they're making after expenses. What is it, EBITDA? Nick, Nick, please go ahead.
Earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization.
Okay,
That's
after
your M&A lesson of the day.
the
Therapy
the
patience.
Packers are clearing about $250 million a year. Okay. And almost all that is then put into a team. Now you look at that. What is a given cash cost for an NFL roster? It's about $250 million, right? Um, so you figure the McCaskies are making around that, maybe a little bit more, right? They have to reinvest it to the roster. They're probably as a family maybe making $50 million a year as an ownership group, and now that's split between all the ownership factions, right? Yeah, not to say this isn't a lot of money, but they're all getting a couple $1,000,000 a year out of this, right? They are not cash billionaires, right? And they are competing now against actual legit like tech billionaires, and it's not going to work, right? Their only shot is to somehow scam the state of Indiana to build them a stadium that then makes them billionaires. And I would be very surprised if that happens, Nick.
You just got to wait and see. He's dealing with the single worst unit of government known to man. Okay? Did you know that that Cook
Careful,
County
Nick. Careful.
and in Illinois, hold on. Illinois has the most units of government of any government in the world. Illinois does.
Just because in Illinois
That just tells you
you get into government to get rich. In other places you're rich and then you get into government. That's how it's worked. It's how it's worked for 100 years. We put Kennedy in the White House, the dead vote. I take pride in it. You cannot be a showman, politician, buffoon and come in. He's not going to out scam these people. Half of our speakers and our governors are in jail, and the other half are out of jail on podcasts. It's a beautiful state.
All right. Well, we beat
Nick,
this dead horse.
in 2033,
next
where
topic.
will the Bears be playing?
McCook.
Nick, who's on the cover
You
of
heard it here
Madden?
first. Caleb, our guy.
Nick, who predicted it 5
Actually-
months ago?
This show.
One host. I not only predicted it, but I predicted.
Listen to you.
No, I did. You can clip it.
Here we go. Here we go.
You're lying. Oh, okay. How long?
I got the card.
How many packs did you have to rip?
Special order, my friend.
Oh, that is sick. For the uninitiated, the cover of Madden 27 is Caleb Williams. And to put some context into that, I've been playing John Madden football for 30 years. It's a ritual in my life to get Madden every summer. In high school, I would wait outside GameStop at midnight the night before it came out while like my other friends were partying and hanging out with girls. I would be waiting outside for the Madden release. At one point, like before I was married, as a single adult man with a job, I was a top 500 rated Madden player in the world. I think I cracked like top 300. I was like beating 11-year-olds after work all the time. I cannot believe that a Chicago Bears quarterback is on the cover of Madden. It's the coolest thing in the world. I'm so excited.
Awesome.
It is so great.
Awesome.
And it is a real shining light of what this quarterback has brought this franchise. And it's the point where, like, are you prepared for the Chicago Bears as the face of the league? Nick, who's getting the Hallmark holiday special?
The Bears.
Nick, who's going to be in that movie?
Me and you.
That's right. I have a little tidbit of info too. So some viewers may not know this, but I've been an extra in several movies throughout the year. I moonlight as a podcaster, freight forwarder, and an actor. And I get occasional casting calls. It's because I'm so handsome. The movie's set in 85.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
So
beautiful.
Nick and I are going to go. We're going to be in the movie. Nick's going to be an extra. I'm going to get probably the third leading role, something like that. Depends if I want to go skate. Nick, if I want to go skate, Nick, do I got to get my SAG card? Can you negotiate that for me?
Yeah, I'll be your agent for a fee.
The point of it being is that the Chicago Bears are somehow currently the face of the NFL. And it's like, why not? Like, it's the market, it's the players, the coach. It's super exciting, man. And I am like impossibly excited for this season. This offseason's been fun. I've been going back and like rewatching YouTube videos of Packer fans reacting to the losses. I send the score every day.
Drinking Packer tears.
Oh, you know what else I'm
relishing
drinking, Nick?
The Packer
Penrose.
tears.
Little golden boots.
I've got the Penrose light here. Shout out Penrose. We're looking forward to another great year with you guys.
And now, Nick,
Some
it's
more events
time.
at the brew pub.
We should have done this a couple weeks ago, but both of us were busy traveling and stuff. Nick, pull up the schedule. We have the 2026, 2027, God willing, Chicago Bears schedule. Nick, I am not very versed in this schedule. I have like not been super into it because I frankly am not worried about it. Like, but why don't you go ahead and pull it up?
Yeah, so I'll tick through some of the stuff here. So
We'll start with preseason.
yeah.
I'm
So
mad about it.
preseason first game, week 1, it's against the Browns. That's the one home preseason game. So
No
I'll be going to
starters.
that.
Nick will contact me on Thursday to go to it, and I will. There'll be no starters, but we're gonna have an
if you're
awesome
not
time.
if you're not locked up with the family like you were for the playoff game.
No, they'll be at that game. I'm taking them all.
Oh, you're going to take them to the preseason game that I'm
Yeah.
going to invite you to?
Well, I'm gonna sit in those seats, but I'm gonna get my family like $11 seats in the upper tank. It'll be
In the
great.
nosebleeds?
Yeah, then we're
Okay.
done.
Okay.
The preseason
All right.
schedule does stink because the only home game is the first game. So if you want to see the starters play, you will not. And also, there are 2 joint practices that are both on the road. So that all broke against us. I would recommend anybody listening to this with kids to do family day. It rocks. It's a scrimmage. You get to take your kids.
Yeah.
It's like $2 hot dogs, $3 ice cream. The Bears were a complete train wreck in their family day scrimmage last year. Caleb went like 1 of 18 in it and threw multiple picks. And they actually referenced it in an article about how far they came. I saw that and I was actually ready to trade him to um like Pittsburgh last year. So don't take too much from it. But Nick, I love one of my favorite times of year as a football fan is August. I love that stretch from first, second, third week of August where there's like preseason football every night from like Thursday to Monday, and there's just random games. I watch them all. I love it. I can't get enough. It's one of my favorite things. I love watching like Seattle's second string against the Raiders third string on like a Thursday night. There's nothing like it, man. I love the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah. No, I like the Hall of Fame game. It's the kickoff of the year. You're a certified sicko. Those preseason games are like your Maction.
I
It's like your Tuesday night Maction.
there's got so like one thing that I think will be very interesting from this preseason is Bajent. He's coming into year 4, right? He's getting paid. He's gonna get a lion's shares of the snap. And like, does this guy get you something? Like, does somebody come get him, right? Like, it is really interesting. If you're a gambling degenerate, you should bet on the Bears in the preseason and that they have a borderline starting quarterback's going to be taking a bunch of these snaps. I'm kind of interested in Miller Moss too, who was Caleb's roommate at USC, is on the roster. That's kind of interesting. Um, Preseason's coming up, man. And then Nick, who do we open with?
We open with the Panthers
I love it.
in Carolina.
Very happy.
Pretty good opener.
It seemed like a fait accompli that they would open the season on Wednesday night of all things in Seattle. And man, I'm not into that. Like, give me Carolina on the road. I think Bryce Young is Santa's merriest elf. I think he sucks. Um, I'll take that team 100 times out of 100, right? They were a playoff team. A lot of that was based about like Rico Dowdle, who's not on the team. But yeah, I'll take that any day of the week. Nick, week 2
Week 2 is at home against the Vikings.
has Aney
Another home opener. Another home opener against the Vikings. I
has
was at the one last year, and that was not great.
has any team in the
That was
history
annoying.
of the NFL opened a season against 2 quarterbacks back to back under 12 feet tall combined?
You talk about Kyler and Bryce. That's
I
funny.
love it. Bring them on, baby. Bring them on.
No, I think that's a first time. First time stat.
We're opening against a 9-year-old.
I
And
don't
an
know. I kind of want to
11-year-old.
see. I kind of want to see 9.
I
Bring
don't.
on 9.
I thought he's gonna be
Yeah, you
like.
do.
It's like the way college is working
Is
is
he third string?
no, but it's possible he's starting for Michigan at that point. The way that college is working.
He's gonna go back.
Yeah, he's gonna go back. That interests me like a little bit what happens with him, but like I think with Minnesota you're looking at a third place team in this division. So then week 3 is the Jets, is that right?
No, week 3 is the Eagles. Monday night
Bring
at
them on,
home.
bring them on, bring them on. They're
That's
soft, they're
gonna be
mental
awesome.
midgets. Yeah.
That's
So
gonna be
we're gonna have to
awesome.
go to that one too, Monday night.
Oh yeah,
You
I'll
know,
be there.
to get if
Week
you like
4.
noon Bears, what's week 4?
Week 4 is the Jets
Yeah,
at
bring it
home.
on. Ugh. So that's a noon kick.
Yeah.
We'll take the kids to that one. If you like noon kickoffs for the Bears, you're not going to get one for a while, man. Like this team is going to be.
I don't like noon kickoffs. I'm good. I'm good without noon kickoffs.
I love them. This the cadence of a Sunday noon kickoff. Get up, make breakfast, go to mass, pray
I've
for the
had too
Bears.
many of them.
It's true, but
Well, no, but I'm talking about when you go to the game.
oh
I don't like
yeah,
noon kickoffs when you go
yeah,
to the
it's your
game
whole day. It's
because you
your
have to
whole
leave at
Sunday.
6:30 in the
Yeah.
morning and you get home at 6:30 at night. Yeah,
And if they lose, it ruins your whole week to start Sunday.
absolutely, absolutely.
um,
I'd rather have the 3 o'clock or the night game.
the Bears have a large amount of island games, which is the new terms. They're not necessarily prime time, but games where they're the only team on. So Saturday afternoons in December, holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, right?
Thanksgiving.
Um,
Yeah.
this is a prime time team. The league will tell you what they think of a team based on where they put schedule them, right? And there were, I mean, I remember in like 2017 they had like 15 noon kicks, like Mike Glennon, right? This is a prime time, ready for the stage team, and they will be showcased week in, week out by this league, man, and it's going to be exciting. I'm very, very excited. Nick, record wise, I have a thought in that. A couple things is I don't necessarily know if they're going to have a better record this year than last, but I feel like they'll be a better team, right? It's possible they
Yeah.
go like they win 10-7, but all 10 of those wins are like normal. I would predict fewer insane come from behind wins and more conventional wins, right? I think we'll see more 24-13s or more 28-16s than insane TikTok shattering comebacks, right? And I'll be fine with that. I'll be good with that. It'll be weird
Yeah.
to have a Bears team where you're kind of more worried about the playoffs, right? Because that's what I'm thinking. Like, I look at this division. Who do you worries you most in the division?
Probably the Lions.
Yeah, that's what I agree. Because we didn't beat them,
The
right?
Lions.
So they did sweep us last year.
Yeah.
They have significant roster atrophy. Their first round pick from 2 years ago is currently facing 80 years in prison, as one does. It could happen to anybody.
He just got released. He got
Did he?
released.
Oh, okay. Did the police release him or did the team release him?
No, the Lions released him.
Ah, poor
The
guy.
Lions cut him.
What about the Florida Sheriff's Department?
No, not poor guy.
It is crazy that this guy is so afraid of Luther Burden and Colson Loveland that he goes to jail for the rest of his life rather than do that.
It's amazing. Yeah.
But
It's amazing.
to the point of roster atrophy, that's a 2024 first round pick that's not on the team.
Yeah.
That team has aged.
Yeah.
They have not replaced guys. That offensive line has atrophied out, and Jared Goff is getting older. To that point, like we do need to beat them at least once. I would really like that. The Packers, Nick, when do we play the Packers? We play them in week 5 or 6, right?
We play them right after that, the very next week, week 5.
Okay.
And that's in Green Bay. That's a 3:25 p.m. game.
So most likely no Micah. And Micah had a more significant
Correct.
knee injury
Correct.
elective, right? It's possible he's not on the field till November. So we get one of them without Micah
Yeah,
Parsons.
they're saying probably mid October, but his brother said it's probably going to be later than that.
He got his money. He's going to get all the
And he
surgery
loves
needs.
Caleb. So
Iceman.
he loves Caleb. He
When
picked him
does
as number 1.
when does Tucker Kraft come back?
I think he should be back. I mean, he should be back week 1, I believe.
Um, I think
But
Jordan
they
Love.
lost a lot of guys.
They
They
did.
lost a
Yeah.
lot of receivers.
Yeah, they
They
lost.
lost they lost
None of them were that good.
Romeo Dobbs. None of them were that good, but they were like good. They were
They were
solid
NFL
possession
players.
receivers. I don't want to hear your soliloquy about Jordan Love.
You know, he's
I'm
good.
sick of hearing
Like
about him. So
we own
yeah,
him and
that's
everything.
it.
But
Yeah,
if Michael Penix were the starting quarterback of this team, it's the worst team in the league.
I agree. I agree.
Without down Love or down Parsons, down Kraft, if they had Bryce Young as this team's quarterback, it's a 5-win team. Um,
Yeah,
they've had
yeah,
significant roster
agree.
atrophy, and now they have no draft picks and no money. So, okay, have fun with that. I think the Packers are last place
Okay.
team, Nick.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I think there's a case for that.
I'd like to clip that.
Yeah, let's clip that. Um, okay, week 6. Uh, Sunday at noon against the Falcons in Atlanta.
So, yeah, we got that. I'm not too worried about it. It is around my
Yeah.
birthday. My brother does live in Atlanta. Nick, we might have to go.
Oh, interesting.
Um,
Interesting. Yeah.
and one thing I'll
That could
tell
be
you
that could
is
be a
you can
possible.
get Falcons tickets for like $35. They don't give a shit down there.
I'm thinking about I'm thinking about actually doing a trip, a quick 2-day trip down to Miami for the Dolphins game in December for my dad's 70th. Dad, if you're watching, me and Shane might be taking you, so let's wait and see. If you got to behave.
That's the difference between me and Nick is he plans trips to South Beach and I plan trips to Swanee, Georgia. Uh,
Or or Great Wolf Lodge.
Great Wolf Lodge. Man, we almost went 2 weeks ago. Um, Nick, who do we end the season with?
um the last 2 games are the Lions in week 17 at Soldier Field and the Vikings in
I thought
Minnesota in
it's
Wrigley.
interesting. Oh man. So Nick, what do you think? Just give me a number.
The number I have is 10-7. I like that number. I do think they could, win less games, but be a better all around team. So when I looked at the schedule, I had 10-7.
When I've kind of I figured out this little formula in my head years ago, but I think you can kind of look at I don't think it's possible to look at a schedule before the season and make any kind of decent predictions because you can't predict backup quarterbacks, injuries, right? You can look at the schedule and like, oh no, we have the Eagles and they could have be their third string quarterback. The Bears played a ton of backup quarterbacks last year. Um, so it's hard to look at it, but I feel like you can always kind of look at a team in general compared to the rosters of the rest of the league, and you can kind of pick a number, and then you're probably within 2 up or 2 down, like a 4 game span. And I think 10's a good number, where 12 is your high end and 8 is your low end. And that's a good place to live, right? If the high end outcome of this season, to me, appears that you get several step ups from young defensive players, Booker, um, Dexter, Thieneman, and the defense plays like a top 15 unit. And then on the offensive side, Caleb is the MVP. Caleb becomes 2023 Heisman Caleb. And what I'll say about that is the last year, if you look at Caleb's season from last year and you look at not just the cut-ups but the game to game, the player he resembles is Oklahoma Caleb Williams. right? So the rookie year Caleb Williams, I hadn't really seen before. This year he looked like he did as a freshman at Oklahoma, which means the next year is 2022 Heisman Caleb, which is one of the great players performances we've ever seen in the sport. And if that's what you get, and this guy is the best player in the league, then the sky's the limit, right? On the limiting side of this, if you're looking at an 8-7 win team, you're looking at a Caleb regression, which is always possible with this team. I thought Mitch Trubisky was going to be good in 2019, right? You're looking at growing pains with the young skill players, and you're looking at health problems on the offensive line. They were pretty healthy on the offensive line last year, right? Other than left tackle. And then on defense, what you'd be looking at is just the limiting factor that defensive line, the Bears do not possess the defensive line of a contending team. They just don't, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, agreed.
Very few teams that have won anything of note have had the production that this defensive line has. Meaning that if you're going to go and do something special this year, you have to be really good in offense to overcome that, or you go get reinforcements. Nick, that name started bubbling up again this week. Did you see? Max Crosby,
Max Crosby.
right? If that guy gets 5 sacks in the first half of the season, like that's a potential addition. You have to start looking at this like, what did Theo Epstein famously say about the Cubs? Every season is sacred, right? Every shot you have to win it is sacred.
Yep.
So we can
Yep.
get to that with additions, but as far as like a championship roster, this is not a championship roster as constructed. Would you agree?
I would agree that it's not a
On paper.
immediately contending championship roster. I would say that if it develops and if it, depending on how the course of the season goes and how these players develop, you have a guy like Austin Booker who is kind of a wild card who could absolutely develop. I mean, I think he had 7 sacks last year, 7.5 when you count the playoffs. So the guy, and he only played 12 or so games.
Mm-hmm.
So you extrapolate that into a full season, the guy has double digit sacks. So you have a guy like him, if he can stay healthy and if he can develop, you have other players too. Roma Dunze. If Roma Dunze turns into your number one alpha, I still think Luther has a good chance to be your number one. But just think about what you had. You didn't have Rome contributing,
Mm-hmm.
um,
5 games.
and Colson Loveland taking another leap.
So Nick, if you had to pick 4 non-Caleb Williams Bears that will determine the outcome of this 2026 season, who would they be?
Really good question. I'd say Austin Booker. I'd say I'm going to say our left tackle. I don't know who that is right now, but let's say it's
Left
what's his
tackle,
name?
Braxton.
Yeah, we'll just call him left tackle. Braxton. Most likely Braxton to start the year. Um, Jervon Dexter. Need him. Imagine if he makes a huge
Mm-hmm.
developmental leap.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Stevenson. Is that
So
4? That's 4.
yeah, so for me it would be Dexter, it would be Booker, right? If those two guys become 20 to 30 million dollar players, right? Like legitimate impact players, now all of a sudden you do have a championship defense. My third player would be Jalen Johnson because he's one of your few all pro blue chip guys who has done it. And if he's healthy, that makes a world of a difference. Um, in your
Yep.
back seven that at times was shredded last year. And then I actually think it's Rome. Top 10 pick,
Yeah.
right? If he's put
Yeah.
it together, right?
A good one.
If the highest outcome of this season, right? Because you can always look at these things like bell curves. That the middle of that bell curve is around 10 wins, right? But for the very right positive end of that bell curve, your 13, 14 wins, the playoff run, it's going to require Caleb to play like an MVP. It's going to require two young defensive linemen to step up, and it's going to require a leap from Romo Dunze. Would you agree?
Yes.
Are all those things
Yes.
possible?
Yeah, I believe so.
Nick, what were we talking about like a year ago?
Good question. Good question. Man, I don't even know.
It was
I don't even know.
it was what could we get for Caleb and how much would Bajan be making as a starter?
Oh gosh. Can
um,
you what do you think we would have said? What do you think we would have said if a year ago today we we would have told each other, number one, we're gonna have a podcast. Number two, Caleb Williams is gonna be on the cover of Madden.
oh,
Number three, the Bears are going to be coming off of an 11-win division championship playoff winning season, playoff game winning season, where they almost made it to the NFC Championship. What would we say?
that the Bears have the Hallmark Christmas movie. I would say cocaine's a hell of a drug, Nick.
Yeah.
And with that, we close out season 1
Yes.
of Therapy Session.
Yep. Put a bow on it. That's
We
a
will
wrap.
return with training camp, with probably Twitter news of guys carrying in fridges and cases of beer in the dorms, right? They don't really do that anymore, right? But
Yep. Jimmy Mack.
we'll get into I'm excited to do training camp for this because we didn't do it last year. We started like week 2.
Yeah.
Because training camp is the actual most obsessive worrying that me to an extent, but Nick to a much sicker extent, is Nick will like freak out about groin injuries in training camp and twisted ankles. And hey, did you hear Noah Sewell made a big play in 7-on-7? Right? The minutia of training camp, there's nothing like it. We're gonna have to go week by week because every week there will be some storylines, and it's always kind of the same as who shows up on pup list, right? Who's in the
Yep.
doghouse? What starter is with the second string because he's in trouble? Um, did Caleb miss a net and throw it? Caleb stuff. Um, Kind of rookie watches. I do have a prediction for the camp, darling. Who's yours? I know mine.
Oh man. You go with yours and then I'll
You know
I'll
who mine
piggyback
is.
off of that.
Let's just say he is from South Africa.
Oh yeah. That's a good one.
100%.
Okay, I got mine. I
Nick
got
is
mine.
gonna have a
But go ahead.
telescope
Explain
on this
yours.
guy. Nick is. I just know. Just
Explain
like
your guy.
if you know Nick, it's gonna be. Is it James Vanderbeek? Is that his name?
No, it's James Vander Wyden. Jordan Vander Wyden or something.
So James Vanderbeek, he's a defensive tackle. We got him in the 6th round. He's this freak farm rugby player from South Africa. He owns a laundromat, and Nick is gonna have like a drone following him around camp practice. I can just tell you he's a Nick guy. That's my guy. What about you, Nick?
Self-made dude. Has his own already has an M&A acquisition under his belt. Gotta respect it. My guy, and he's kind of flashed already
Oh,
in
Savion?
the early going.
Xavion? Yeah.
Xavion.
Yeah, that's
Xavion
another Nick
Thomas.
guy.
Yep. Yep. The flashy playmakers. Just like Manungai was my guy in
That was
training camp
Nick.
last year.
Nick was on Monunga. So like I will say that I watched Monunga in college, right? And I took note of him. I remember him playing Ohio State. And I knew of him, right? And I was familiar with his game. And I could not fathom why this man, Nick Meadow, was so obsessed with Kyle Monunga. I was making fun of him about it for weeks, right? And Nick, to your credit, that is a notch on your belt. Because I went back and watched some Monungai stuff. This dude rules. Do you know who he is, actually?
He's awesome.
He's Marion Barber.
He kind of reminds me. Yeah. Or I think of Maurice Jones-Drew. Remember him? The human pinball?
Yeah, he's not. Maurice Jones-Drew was. has such a fat ass, right? He was such a unique, like, he's he. There's a violence to Manungai's game that is so menacing and so malignant on the field that,
Yes.
and what I mean by Barber is this guy. There's a 0% chance he gets a second contract from us. But he's gonna take a lot of souls on his way down, right?
Yeah.
Um,
He's awesome.
I will say, so Nick and I on July 8th will be furiously typing away at Ticketmaster, getting our training camp tickets, take our kids. Nick, if we do it, we should get press passes, I think. We should try it. We should try to do a show.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so we
That
should
would be
try to
awesome.
finagle that.
You could ask Adam Johns for
I
some
was gonna
help.
say Scott
Your
Hagel.
guy,
Scott, I know you're
your
listening
former
to this.
college.
I don't I actually don't read him anymore because yeah, I'm gonna have to subscribe to CHGO. No, we will email Scott Hagel, the Bears communications director, who, by the way, is dual-hatted to that and lobbying in Springfield. But we should try to record from there. But I think we go once a week from training camp. We'll have the cadence in. We'll have soon enough before we know it. We'll have our first preseason game review where you are complaining about Greg Hardy on special teams, and that's the real guts of this show. We could go months talking off-season
Right.
topics, but where this show is really the best is where we can complain about backup right guards, and I'm so excited to do that with you.
That's right. The deep cuts. We dig deep for you guys, for the therapy patients.
That's right. Nick, we can only get together for so many NBA drafts. It's time for football.
That's right. Absolutely. Enough is enough.
Are you ready to wrap up season 1, Nick?
I am. Let's put a bow on it. Close that chapter.
Go Bears.
Cheers. Go Bears.